What I want to do today, or this morning for the next sort of half, 3/4 of an hour, is just talk to you a little bit about two main parts of our strategy, about our income growth plans and modernisation. But I think first of all, let's just touch on what the economic situation is, because certainly over the last few weeks there seem to be lots and lots and lots of good news around the economy. Lots of things seem to be picking up. Your unemployment seems to be down, inflation seems to be under control, business confidence seems to be up. But we shouldn't let that lull ourselves into a sense of false security. Things are still pretty tough. Certainly, I'm sure you know as private consumers that actually a lot of the feel-good stuff is not really being reflected in how you're actually doing your day-to-day life, how you feel about the economy, how you feel about your own personal financial circumstances. So we're not seeing that translated through yet into the man on the street's pocket or the lady on the street's pocket. But certainly things seem to be picking up, but we shouldn't kid ourselves that it's still not quite a tough environment for us to operate in. So we have to still be ready to adapt. We still have to be ready to change the way we work and change the way we interact with our customers and ask our customers to interact with us. A lot of what we do actually is around selling stuff for other people. It's not our own products, and it doesn't matter whether those other people is Royal Mail, whether it's the passport agency, whether it's some of our financial services products that we're selling for someone else. By that, I don't necessarily mean the Bank of Ireland stuff, but the bill payment stuff we do, the banking transactions that we do for banks, and the latest one being we're going to expand what we do for Royal Bank of Scotland. But the fact is that most of these products and services are for other people. They're not our own products. And so it is possible to say actually that we're a channel. We're not a retailer, we're a channel. But it's really important that we start to position ourselves more as a retailer than as a channel. And the reason for that is because a lot of our traditional products are declining. They're declining in footfall volumes, they're declining in the number of people who use them, they're also declining in profitability and the return that we can make. And a great example are things like bill payment. I've only been with when you did the exercise before about the length of service from the newest person right to Albert with 135 years, then you see that even in the time that I've been with the business, in the 9 years I've been here, the amount of money that we earn from things like bill payment has dropped dramatically to now it's something like 6p for every bill payment transaction that we do. So margins are constantly squeezed. You'd have to do a hell of a lot of bill payment transactions in an hour to get back what it costs us to run any branch in an hour. So it's a demanding market, it's a declining market, and margins are under real pressure. So it's really important that we start to look outside of our traditional business to how we earn our income, and that we start to move ourselves more and more into a retailer of some of our own products rather than of just a channel for other people's. So what does it mean about being a successful retailer? How can we be a successful retailer with the business that we have? Well, actually, when you start to look at what we could do, then there are a whole range of products that can actually become very attractive for particular types of customers. And it's about building a proposition rather than offering individual products. It's about making sure that we can do something which appeals to a group of population, whether it be in our financial services world or whether it's in the banking environment. And we've already started to sow the seeds of this with financial services. So that's the first thing we're going to look briefly at. We are I'm sure Joel, correct me, 99 is it? Or are we actually, where's Joe sat now? I've lost her. 100, is it 90 or 100 mortgage specialists? We're at the figure that we set ourselves, which was 100 mortgage specialists across the UK. We've grown that progressively, we've grown that carefully to make sure we've got the right people in the right places, and the potential for us in this environment is absolutely incredible. We've got the trusted brand that people would expect. We can offer advice, something we've never done. Those of you that have been around a while will know we've actually been frightened to death of offering advice. We've made you steer completely away from even going anywhere near offering advice. We're now saying with our mortgage specialists that they are going to offer advice, and that advice on the high street from a brand that's trusted like the post office is something that's not available anywhere else. The beauty of things like mortgages, and as it starts to roll out even further, the current account, is that it's not just a transactional product, it becomes a relationship that you're building with the customer. We find out a lot more about the customer, we find out a lot about their personal circumstances, and it also gives us the opportunity to then look at what else can we do. And that's what we mean by a proposition. It's not just about a product, it's about what else can we do that fits with the product the customer's bought or fits with the reason that we're talking to the customer, but actually is part of a whole proposition. So financial services is something which is a really, really exciting time for us, an exciting future. Mortgages and current account are really just the start. There are more products to come, but the fact that mortgages is an advice offer and it also links into the whole relationship building with customers is really, really important. And it's a huge step because, as I say, we've moved away, or we've shied away from giving advice into a world we're now very happy to give advice. The thing about our brand is, it's what do we want our brand to stand for? What do we want it to mean? When people think about the post office, what do we want them to think? We want them to think about what we do, that it's transparent, that it's ethical, and that it's value for money. Now, you know, with the current account, we've only just launched it into 3 more areas. It was predominantly in East Anglia to start with. It's now in 3 more areas. So it's only live in 4 regions of the country rather than the 20 that we will ultimately move it out to. But already it's won awards from the industry. And it's won those awards on the back of being transparent, being ethical, and being value for money. And that's exactly how we want to position the current account, and exactly how we want to position what the post office stands for. So we are making great strides. Are there any? It's not in any of your branch. Anybody worked in a branch where you've had the current account and moved around? I know it's sort of on the fringes of Essex now, so it's heading this way. But there's no one's worked in a branch with the current account. And I was talking to Ian before. Ian, I'll tell you himself, he used to work in Wood Green branch. Wood Green branch had a £1 million mortgage the other day. Now, it's got to complete yet, it's just an application. When it completes, the income we will get from a £1 million mortgage, you'd have to sell some special deliveries to cover that. So it just shows the value that we can get from financial services and from the things that we're going to be doing in the future.